as you know, in this world of digital connections, there's a place in our lives for many different internet providers. And there should be a place in our lives. But what's different and unique about Yahoo? And we want to make sure that we tell that story. And of course, in India, we worked really hard to be #1 in cricket. It didn't just happen. It happened because we cared about consumer experiences. We have a passion for the game. Our local team has incredible passion for our brand and brought all of that together. And so #1s don't happen by accident. So the second D, distribute. This has gotten more complicated. If you're young in your career, this is more complicated than it's ever been. And if you're older in your career like me, you've kind of grown up learning how to add layers to this because of the amazing connections that we have in this global world. I think about distribute in 4 ways. And when I think about online, there are 4, we call them just the 4 O's. Social, local, video. Why am I losing my 4th O? You guys must know what it is. Mobile, of course, growing in India. Let's stop on those for a second. So local, how can you provide a personalized, immersive experience on that iPad story I told you about if it's not local? I was looking up information about exactly where I was going on the plane to Delhi, India. I needed local information and I needed it really specifically. But if I was living in India and I want information about education, I might not want it in the English language. I'm going to want it in a different dialect. Being local, locally relevant, and personal is incredibly important. That takes hard work understanding the consumer and providing a lot of options for the consumer to be personalized to them. Mobile, we've probably talked enough about. Video, a huge opportunity, not just in India, but across digital media. Video is growing incredibly fast, but it's also the medium that helps take that emotional engagement from what we're used to in TV and puts it on any screen. Because when you think about all the money we spend as advertisers on creating videos, why do we just put them on TV spots? It actually makes no sense. Video is available across the entire globe on internet. And we can watch it on different devices. So video production and video engagement for consumers is a big future engagement for us as marketers. And it's happening today. That's what we see consumers doing the most pickup on. And that's not just in the US, that's around the globe. And then of course social. We had a question earlier about targeted audiences. And what's really interesting about social is it's not just about building that fan page, but it's about activating a conversation. And that conversation can happen on that page, it can happen across the internet, it happens in email, it happens at cocktail parties, it happens in rooms like this one. And as marketers, we want to take those conversations and turn them into transactions, turn them into action. And so using social as a way to engage that and to spark that conversation. And sometimes the role of the brand is to step back from that conversation and just let it happen. Hasn't Apple done a terrific job at that? How do you help everyone in the world who has a question about an Apple product? You use everybody in the world to help answer the question. You don't staff it yourself as a corporation. That's how you turn on social in a very, very big way when consumers care so much about the brand that they have the conversations and they even help each other amongst themselves. So distribution can be differentiated in a lot of ways, but there was a particular distribution strategy that I saw was happening in India that the Yahoo marketing team recognized with one of our Big Idea Awards. I wasn't familiar with Hippo snacks until I checked into my hotel and I opened my drawer and I saw 3 bags of them, so of course I had to open it up and try them. What's so cool about what Hippo did for their marketing campaign to use digital is they said, our product is popular and sometimes it's not stocked enough. They needed a sophisticated supply chain model to make sure that inventory was done well, which with the infrastructure that they have or that's in India was not able to get done. So what they said to their consumers is, if you go and you see that there's no inventory for our snacks, tweet about it. Let us know. And in 48 hours, we'll make sure that we stock our inventory. So can you imagine what this did to Hippo's distribution process? Completely changed it, because they went to the source of where the most demand was. And they got the customers involved doing their inventory work for them, but getting a lot of benefit out of the branded experience because the company reacted, the company took action, and they felt like the consumer feels like, oh, this is actually, I'm getting a reward from this. They actually care about what I think. I thought that was a very innovative way to say, how do I use digital media to solve a business problem? Not how do I use digital media to promote my product, right? Very different thinking. 76% increase in sales really helped their business. That's where marketing can make a huge difference in thinking about how to use digital media. Okay, so my third D, and we're going to wrap it up, is decide. One of the things the internet gives us, which is a great gift that no other medium has ever given us, is data, data, data. And from all of that data, we try to pull insights. And insights is what gives us breakthrough consumer engagement. But there's so much of it. You could actually say you can analyze the data and reanalyze the data and look at the data again, and it changes because we wake up, we're human beings, we change our mind. Some trends are there for a while, some trends aren't. So my advice on the third D of decide is don't throw away your instincts. Branding is about also an emotional connection, not just the rational connection. And so using your instincts, going with your gut, and taking some risks should actually be, I think, the fun part of our job. We have to deliver the results. But honestly, you develop a digital approach to something and it doesn't work, what do? You change it. And you can change it really, really fast. It's not like the traditional world. So decide is a balance to me between data and insights, which keep you smart and in the right direction, and going with your gut so you push the envelope a little bit and take some risks. As we think about these 3 Ds that I shared with you today, at our fingertips is change all the time, and that's really what I started with, change and embracing that change. I told a little bit of a story about a tablet, and I bet each of you have a story about that. And if you've experienced the tablet and the iPad in particular, it's really, really engaging. And at Yahoo, you heard in our differentiation that we want to deliver your world your way. We want to personalize the experience. We want it to be really meaningful to you. And so our product development team said, well, what are we going to do to make that experience come to life on the tablet? Because it's so different than the PC. Just based off my story, we I think, can agree. It's so different than the PC. It's so different than the phone when you're walking on the go. So we wanted to develop an experience that was rooted in who we were and who we are as the premier digital media company, but also engage in a way that took the best of the tablet experience and made it the best for the consumer. So I have one last video to show you about a new product we're bringing to market called LiveStand.
LiveStand from Yahoo. More than an app, it's a digital newsstand that offers a wealth of ever-changing content, continuously programmed by a person's interest. Let's take a look. I'm into surfing. Surfer Mag is one of the many publications that I'm subscribed to. LiveStand constantly updates the stories I see based on my interest. It's locally aware. LiveStand helps publishers and advertisers reach their audiences with content that's dynamic and engaging for the consumer. Cutting-edge technology is powering LiveStand. It knows what I like. The personalization is implicit, based on my interests, and the more you use it, the more it gets to know you. With LiveStand, we're using ad formats that evoke the emotion of TV advertising, with a glossy, magazine-like experience. And they're combined with the effectiveness of an internet ad that's targeted, actionable, even location aware. It's all personalized for you. LiveStand will be available as a tablet app and as a publisher and advertiser platform in the first half of the year. It's going to be a game changer for how people publish and enjoy content. Go to livestand.com for more.
Remember when I said if you say you know everything about digital media and digital marketing, then I got to know there's something wrong? We had no idea just over a year ago, we, the collective we, that the iPad was going to really be a transformative product in how we engage with content. And ultimately, it will be a transformation product for the advertising industry, because it started a whole new direction on how we can develop experiences that's so immersive. And I remember, that was just over a year ago, and now we are developing products against it. We are using it more than we're using some of our other devices. We're adapting new habits as consumers. Advertisers are thinking about how to not just be an advertiser, but how do you be a great publisher? How do you have content around your brand that matters? Because that's how people engage with this particular format. So hopefully that gave you an example of digital media, digital marketing. Never claim you know everything, because there's always something else to learn, and there's always something new to experiment with. So with that, I'll wrap up with my summary of the 3 Ds that I think about to make sure that our marketing strategies are differentiated, that we have a clear and compelling value, and that we distribute it in a way that has competitive advantage and cumulative advantage over time, and that we make decisions and move fast. That story about, hey, we're in India, we move fast, we're just going to get going on this ad tech conference. We don't need to sit around and deliberate about it for months at a time. Let's just go do it. And everything won't be perfect, we'll learn from it, and then we'll do a better one next time. That's how I think about digital marketing. Thank you.